Good evening and welcome to Talking Sports with Evan. I'm Evan Witalison, and thank you so much for tuning in. And this is a NFL preview edition of Talking Sports with Evan. Thank you for tuning in. As I said, the podcast version can be found anywhere you get your podcast tomorrow morning, right around 8 o'clock. It'll launch there. Otherwise, you can find the video live on X at Evan with Sports, as well as on YouTube and Facebook. Just look for Talking Sports with Evan. And it's hard to believe that the NFL season kicks off tomorrow night for the Cowboys and the Eagles, and then you got the Chiefs in and the Chargers in Brazil Friday night, and the Packers take on the Detroit Lions on Sunday. And it is crazy. It is still crazy to me that Micah Parsons is a Green Bay Packer. Like that is just still unreal. And I didn't get a chance to talk about it last week. I did my show on Tuesday and I talked about how I didn't think it was going to happen. All the rumors started circulating Monday and Tuesday that it could. And I was like, I don't think it's going to happen. I just don't see the Packers being able to give Parsons what he wanted. And the Packers got Micah Parsons in the Green Bay. And it is just an incredible feeling that Micah Parsons is now a Green Bay Packer. And that definitely raises expectations of the Green Bay Packers going into the 2025 season. They've gone from a playoff contender to a legit championship contender just with a snap of the fingers, just by trading for Micah Parsons. Because Micah Parsons is that good. Micah Parsons is that good of a football player that he automatically improves the Packer defense, and he's automatically the best player on this Packer defense. Between him, between Xavier McKinney, between Edgerrin Cooper, if he takes that second-year jump that we all think he's going to take, and with Rashawn Gary not being the centerpiece to the pass rush now because of Micah Parsons, and he's going to be getting all that attention, that just makes the pass rush that much more scary. And Jeff Hafley, he has the opportunity to pretty much play chess with the pieces that he has. Because Micah Parsons is not just a defensive end. Micah Parsons can play outside linebacker. He can play some middle linebacker. You can move him all over the field. And when you look at potential passing situations with Micah Parsons and Edgerrin Cooper on the outside, and then Rashawn Gary and likely Lucas Van Ness rushing from inside. And then you could have Quay Walker, who's great at blitzing that A-gap. Quarterbacks are going to be not standing a chance with what the Packers could potentially throw at opposing quarterbacks this year. But with that trade, as I said, it raises expectations. So it's going to be up to Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love to make sure this offense is ready to go to help this Packer team put points on the board. Because if you get points on the board and you make teams one-dimensional by having to pass the football, then you're going to make you're going to put a lot of stress on opposing teams. And I know people question Parsons' run-stopping ability. I know the run defense might take a step back without Kenny Clark, and they let T.J. Slaton go in free agency. But if you're able to get up on teams and make them one-dimensional that way, that Packer pass rush can make things very difficult. So watching at home, what are your expectations of this Packer defense? Do you think they're going to be a top 3 to 5 unit in the NFL, or do you think that's just putting too much hype on a Packer team whose secondary, let's be real here, is still a concern? It is definitely still a concern. But either way, excited. Micah Ethan Parsons is a Green Bay Packer. He is just 26 years old, and he is just one of 2 players to have 12 or more sacks in his first 4 seasons in the NFL. The only other player is Reggie White. And no, I'm not comparing Micah Parsons to to Reggie White, when I say that, I'm saying is that he can be that special of a player. That's what I'm trying to say. Reggie White is probably one of the best pass rushers in NFL history, and he completely helped change the culture in Green Bay when he decided to sign with the Green Bay Packers after having dinner at the Red Lobster with Mike Holmgren and Ron Wolf and company. But as I said, this is going to be the NFL preview edition. Well, I'm going to go division by division and give you who I think will be the division winners and who I think has the best chance of representing the NFC and the AFC in the Super Bowl, and then talk about some postseason, some regular season awards as well. So we're going to start with the AFC East. You got the Buffalo Bills, the New York Jets, the Miami Dolphins, and the New England Patriots. It's a no-brainer. The Buffalo Bills are going to win that division. No-brainer. They are just heads and shoulders above everybody else in the AFC East. Better than the Patriots, better than the Dolphins, better than the Jets by a wide margin. And it's not even close. Buffalo runs away with a division win. I think we'll see them at right around 12 to 13 wins. I think the Patriots finish second. And the reason why I think the Patriots finish second is not so much that the Patriots are going to be that much better, is I think Buffalo is going to disappoint and the Jets are still rebuilding. I think the Patriots finish second. I think the Jets finish third in the division, and I think the Dolphins finish in fourth. And I think we're going to have a coaching opening in Miami following the 2025 season, as I think they're going to go a different direction at head coach in Miami. So again, Buffalo, New England, New York, and Miami in that order in the East. Moving on to the AFC North. This division, minus the Browns, of course, has the potential to be a very exciting division. You have the Ravens with Lamar Jackson and company. You got the Bengals. If their defense is even slightly better, slightly improved from last year, they can make some noise. And then you got Pittsburgh with Aaron Rodgers and DK Metcalf leading the way on offense. Pittsburgh can be a player in that division. And then I'm going to say easy. Browns, last place in that division, lucky to win 4 games. Joe Flacco had a great Cinderella run a couple years ago in Cleveland, but I just don't think the Browns are going to be good enough at that quarterback position, even with Flacco leading the way. I don't think they're going to be good enough. And I think the Browns are going to finish in last place. I think Pittsburgh is going to be in third place. I think they're going to have a 10-win season, but they're going to be in third place. And that's because the Bengals are going to be improved. They're going to have 11 wins. And then the Ravens are going to win that division. And I think the Ravens are going to take the 1 seed in the AFC. There's just something about that Raven team that they're going to be the 1 seed in the AFC. They're going to win the AFC North and have that 1 seed. I look at the AFC South. This division, in a bad way, is truly anybody's ball game. You have the Texans, who 2 years ago with C.J. Stroud surprised a lot of people, and C.J. Stroud having a great rookie year. The Indianapolis Colts are on their 12th quarterback in the last 3 years. Maybe obviously not quite that much, but it's a lot. Daniel Jones is now the starting quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts. Jacksonville has been pretty much a hot mess for a while now. Doug Peterson got let go. Before Doug Peterson, Urban Meyer was the head coach. It has been a disaster after disaster after disaster in Jacksonville. Arguably one of the better quarterbacks in the division in Trevor Lawrence, but is he actually good or is he just overrated? We don't know. But Jacksonville has a new coach there. And then the Tennessee Titans drafted Cam Ward out of Miami. We'll see if that rookie quarterback, Cam Ward, can be this year's Jaden Daniels. He's got the long-term playing experience in college that Jaden Daniels had, which is similar and we'll see if Cam Ward can have that type of impact in year one. I think the division winner will be the Houston Texans at about 9 wins. I think Jacksonville finishes second in the division with also with 9 wins, but Texans get the tiebreaker. I think the Colts are going to finish third, probably 6 or 7 wins, and I think that's going to be another coaching opening, new owner. I think the GM is let go after this year, which I'm surprised the GM for the Colts has not been fired yet. And then the head coach gets let go as well. And the Titans, they're going to give their head coach another year, bring it up last in that division due to the fact that they have a rookie quarterback now. So AFC West. Kansas City Chiefs wins the division. They'll be the 3 seed because Buffalo will be the 2. Kansas City will tie with Buffalo record-wise, but Buffalo will have the tiebreaker, so Kansas City will be the 3 seed. I think the Denver Broncos and the Chargers both finish with 9 wins, and then the Raiders bring up the butt of the division with about 8 wins. I think the division is going to be better than most people are going to think. Jump into the NFC East. I think the NFC East is the winner and second place team is very easy to predict. I think we have the Eagles finishing first, the Commanders finishing second, and then it'll be a fight with the Cowboys and the Giants to see who finishes third and fourth. I think the Cowboys drop. So CBS Sports has them at 8-9 in their thing. I say they're like maybe a 7-8 win team, and then the Giants would be a 6 or 7 win team. And I think Dart becomes that starting quarterback by the end of the year. NFC South, Tampa Bay is head and shoulders above everybody. They run away with that division with 11 to 12 wins. I think the Falcons finish second in that division. I think Carolina finishes third, and they're both going to be right at that 7 or 8 win mark. And then the Saints are going to be lucky to win 2 games. And Kellen Moore, thankfully, will get an extra couple years to get things right. But you just look at the Saints roster and the salary cap hell that they're in, I think they'll be lucky to win 2 games. The NFC West, another division that could really be anybody's ball game. The 49ers had a down year because of injuries last year. The Cardinals played well towards the end of the year. The Rams, Stafford's back is a question mark. And then the Seahawks defensively played really well. Now they got Sam Darnold to be their quarterback. And this division to me is a toss-up as well. I think the 49ers bounce back and win that division. I think the Rams finish second in that division. I think the Cardinals finish third and the Seahawks finish fourth. That's my order of operations there. And finally, the NFC North, the Green Bay Packers division. The Packers that just traded for Micah Parsons' division. Can Jordan Love take that next step to go from being an average to above average quarterback to good to great quarterback? Can Jordan Love take that next step? The Lions, new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator, new starting center. Are the Lions going to be able to sustain their success, or are they going to take a step back after the embarrassing defeat they had in the playoffs to Washington last year? The Vikings, J.J. McCarthy is now their starting quarterback. Is he the next starting quarterback for the Vikings, or is that gamble of letting Sam Darnold go to Seattle for J.J. McCarthy to take over the starting quarterback, is that going to backfire? And then the Bears, first-time head coach in Ben Johnson. Yes, he was a great play caller in Detroit, but it's different being a play caller and a head coach. As the head coach, you're responsible for everything. As the play caller, you're just responsible for calling the offense. So how is Ben Johnson going to adapt to being able to the head job? And then Caleb Williams, I'm not sold on Caleb Williams yet. So every team in that division has questions in the North. The best division in football last year were the Vikings and the Giants. The Vikings and the Lions finished the Lions first, Vikings second, and I think it was 15 and 14 wins respectively. The Packers had a respected 11 wins last year, but unfortunately finished third. And I know I keep hearing about where the Packers only won one game in the division, and they were lucky they didn't get swept in the division. They still won 11 games. And that's with the hobbled Jordan Love, a wide receiving core that took a huge step back from 2 years ago, and a pass rush that was very inconsistent at getting after the quarterback, and your starting defensive back who continued to spend more time on the trainer's table than on the field. Now, Jair Alexander's gone. Matthew Golden got drafted in the first round by the Packers. Jordan Love, other than still recovering from thumb surgery, lower body-wise, as healthy as can be. And the Packers got Micah Parsons to improve the pass rush overall. And I'm not just saying this because I'm a Packer fan. I'm saying this looking at the other potential issues in the division. And I think the Packers, with Micah Parsons, probably have the best defender in the division with him on their roster. I think the Packers take the division with 12 wins. I think the Packers win 12 games. They win the division. They're going to be the number 2 seed in the playoffs. And I think they take that division. I think the Vikings finish in second place in this division. I think the Vikings win 10 games. They finish in second. I think the Lions also win 10 games, and they finish in third, with the Vikings having the tiebreaker over the Lions. And I think the Bears finish with 8 wins. Not enough to make the playoffs, but an improvement. That's how I look at the NFC North division. Moving on to awards. Yes, we can talk awards. MVP, you got Lamar Jackson, who's a multiple winner. You got Josh Allen, who just won it last year. You have Pat Mahomes, who's been a multiple winner. I think we have a first-time winner with MVP this year. I think Joe Burrow wins the NFL MVP award this year. That's my bold prediction, is Joe Burrow will be NFL MVP. NFL Offensive Player of the Year, I'm going to go with Saquon Barkley for that one. He is just truly the best running back in the NFL, and I think he runs away with the Offensive Player of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year, you got a lot of candidates. You got Will Anderson Jr., you got TJ Watt, you got Myles Garrett, you got Max Crosby, you got Micah Parsons. You have a lot of guys that can be Defensive Player of the Year, and a lot of potential winners, even beyond who I just said. But I think the Defensive Player of the Year this year will be Myles Garrett. He is going to be the best player on the field every week that he's on the field, leading the Browns defense. And yes, I know the Browns are going to probably be a horrible team offensively, lucky to win 5 games. But I think their defense is going to be pretty good. And I think Myles Garrett's going to be Defensive Player of the Year worthy this season. NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year. I'm going to go homer pick here. I think Matthew Golden is going to be the Offensive Rookie of the Year. I think he is going to get a lot of looks early and often for the Packers and their offense. I think him and Love are going to have a great connection. Christian Watson's going to be out until probably middle of October at the earliest. Jaden Reed's dealing with a foot injury. He didn't practice today, and he may not play on Sunday. Romeo Doubs is a bit he's probably the best hands on the team, but he's inconsistent at times. Dontavion Wicks can have a case of the drops. And Williams is also a rookie. I think Matthew Golden wins Rookie of the Year because I think he gets enough touches and enough throws his direction from Jordan Love to win that award. NFL Comeback Player of the Year. This is a true no-brainer. It's going to be Aiden Hutchinson coming back what he came back with the broken leg. It is definitely a no-brainer that Hutchinson will be the Comeback Player of the Year. NFL Coach of the Year. I think we finally get a Matt LaFleur Coach of the Year. If the Packers are as good as I think they're going to be, I think Matt LaFleur gets Coach of the Year. So that is my predictions for the NFL awards for the 2025 season. That's my predictions for the division. Once again, one more time, my division winning predictions is in the AFC, you have the Bills winning the East, with the Patriots finishing second, the Jets third, the Dolphins fourth, with that Dolphins job opening up after the year. In the AFC North, you got the Ravens, you got the Bengals, you got the Steelers, and you got the Browns. In the AFC South, you have the Texans, Jacksonville, the Colts, and the Titans. And the Colts job will be opening up after the season. In the AFC West, you got the Chiefs, you got the Broncos and Chargers finishing tied for second, and you got the Raiders in last place. In the NFC East, you got the Eagles, you got the Commanders, you have the Cowboys, and then you got the Giants. And the Giants job will be another one opening up by the end of the year. In the North, you got the Packers, you got the Lions, you got the Vikings, and then the Lions, with the Vikings having a tiebreaker, and then you got the Bears. In the NFC South, you got Tampa Bay, Falcons, Panthers, and Saints. And in the NFC West, 49ers, Rams, Cardinals, and then Seahawks. So there you have it. Those are my predictions for the 2025 NFL season, going from breaking down each division winner. So that'll do it for tonight's episode of Talking Sports with Evan. I will have another episode tomorrow, specifically previewing Packers and Lions. Should be right around 8:30, 9 o'clock start of show. Make sure to tune in to get my thoughts on that particular matchup. This has been Talking Sports with Evan. Thank you for watching. I'll get back at you tomorrow.